Making your first measurement. Making measurements is an essential function of an oscilloscope, and your first measurement can be as easy as a single button push. Let's make one now. Here we have the scope in a fresh power-up state with channel 1 active. Now we'll connect the probe to the Cal-Out connection that provides a 1 kHz signal at around 3 volts peak to peak. And push auto to acquire a signal. On the right side of the display, you will notice several icons for making a measurement. For convenience, this menu will be shown after a signal is automatically acquired. The first two both give period and frequency. The difference is the second selection will adjust scale to show multiple periods of the signal. We'll choose the first one to show a single period across the display. The second two are rise and fall times. These four are some of the most common measurements to be made on a scope. So for our example, let's select the first for period and frequency. We now have period and frequency measurements at the bottom of the display, and we can enlarge the font size for easier reading. Other horizontal and vertical measurements are available at the left of the display, and we'll address those in another video. Making measurements quickly and easily will speed up your validation and troubleshooting. Making your first measurement. Regal scopes are packed with performance and features. One of these is automatic measurements. A wide variety of horizontal and vertical measurements can be enabled by a push of a button. There's no need to manually position cursors and calculate measurements. Once an individual measurement is selected, it's added to the bottom of the display and out of the way of acquired signals. Up to 5 individual measurements can be displayed at a time. In addition, a comprehensive set of measurements can be displayed all at once to give an overall view of signal parameters at a glance. Okay, let's try a few of these measurements out. First, you'll notice the menu key at the top left of the display. Pushing this key will alternately list out horizontal or vertical selections. Individual selections can be made by pushing the adjacent key. The up and down arrow keys will list out all available measurements. Here we have 20 horizontal selections. And 17 vertical selections. You'll notice that the measurement titles are shown in yellow. This indicates that they are currently associated with channel 1. Pushing the channel 2 button will change the titles to blue to indicate association with channel 2. For our presentation, we have a 2 MHz sine wave connected to channel 1 and a 1 MHz square wave connected to channel 2. Let's prove this out by adding a few measurements. For channel 1, we can select horizontal and add frequency. As well as period if you'd like. Going to vertical, we can select peak-to-peak voltage. For channel 2, we can add frequency and peak-to-peak voltage as well. For easier viewing, you can increase the font size by pushing Measure at the right of the display. To delete measurements, push Clear and delete all items. To view the comprehensive list of measurements mentioned earlier, push Measure All. This will take up quite a bit of the display, but it can be very handy to get an overall feel for your signal under test, and can be easily turned off. Getting familiar with auto measurements will speed up development of your designs and simplify documentation.